Woo! Okay, we're live. Yay! Welcome. Hi, how are you guys?
Talking to us.
Yeah, you, yeah. Or them.
Just like, what?
Everyone. How's everyone?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm tired today. I woke up, well, and it's only 10 for me. Yeah, I woke up really exhausted for some reason. What about you,
always
Kat?
the way, isn't it? I'm all right. Yeah, I went out for a big walk earlier on today because it's for some reason really sunny today, but apparently it's supposed to go really nasty tomorrow. So I was like, make the most of the sun, go outside.
Yeah,
I didn't
get
know
it.
that the weather was supposed to be bad tomorrow, and now I'm upset.
Apparently it's supposed to snow over Easter. Like, what is that about? It's 20 degrees right now and it's apparently supposed to snow. So
Yeah, that's weird. Yeah, I was filming all day, so I couldn't go outside. But yesterday I was making candles, and while I was waiting for everything to come to temperature, I was sitting outside reading.
Amazing. How long does it take to come to temperature?
When everything's mixed in, about 20 minutes to cool to the temperature that I can pour them at.
Okay.
So I was basically reading about a chapter and then coming back inside. It was good.
Nice. I went outside yesterday, but that's like a once in a while thing at these points because I work from home and everything now, and I'm just like, I just forget that there's a balcony right here. Like I could go, and I'm just end up on the couch instead. Hello to Deja.
Hello
everyone. All right, so what's everyone reading?
I'm between books.
Between books.
I'm not supposed to be reading this. It's on my April TBR.
It's only April. It's fine.
Yeah, I just don't know how, because like Bookopoly, so I don't know how fussy people are going to be with me. But I've been taking like the last couple of days and today as well, where I'm not like focusing on reading. I just read when I want to. So I'm just getting like a little bit of a head start, but not really. Like,
How far into Truth Witch are you?
I am 135 pages into it, and I'm very confused about everything, but I really like it at the same time.
Okay, good.
Like, no idea what's going on, but I love it.
I read that book on audio like 2 years ago, I think, and I didn't love it, but I'm going to be doing a series of like giving things a second chance based on how I read it. So like if I didn't like it and I read it on audio, I'm going to try it physically and then the other way around, because sometimes I feel like that's really important. And
I had that with the Raven Boys. I listened to it on audio first. I hated it. And I was like, why is everyone saying this is really good? And then I read it physically and I was like, oh, I really like it. Wow, what a difference.
Well, this is why I never listen to fantasy audiobooks. And I never DNF books, and I've DNF'd 2 books this year, one in March, one in February, and both of them were fantasy books that I tried to listen to on audio, and I couldn't do it. So
what were they?
One was Secrets of the Star-Crossed by Clara O'Connor. It was an arc that I got, but it was already like the audiobook was unscripted by the time I actually got around to it. And then the other one was The Midnight Queen by Sylvia Hunter, which was a like historical. It's more historical than fantasy, which contributes to the reason why I didn't like it.
That was the one that was like on your books that'll self-destruct, right?
Yes. Yeah, that one.
Got it. Haley says your TBR game, your rules.
Yeah.
And I agree.
This one was my Patreon pick for April as well, not my actually on my TBR, but I do need to read this week because I'm doing like a themed vlog next week, and the live show is on the 10th of April, so it has to be done this week.
As long as you finish it in April, it'll be fine.
Yeah, fine. That was what I'm going with. I got my copy of You Love Me by Caroline Kepner came yesterday, which is, I thought it was only out next week. Apparently it's out tomorrow. And I really wanted to start it, but it was only 380 pages, and I knew that I would finish it before April even started if I started it, so I've had to just not.
Just wait.
Yeah.
It's like one more day and then you'll be fine.
Yeah.
So many good books. Bonecryer's Dawn, I've heard of that one, but I don't really know what it's about. Chain of Iron. Have you guys read that? The new set of her books?
I actually gave up because I DNF'd Lady Midnight. Like, I know. Listen, right. So I have such a complicated relationship with Cassandra Clare books because I liked them, then I didn't like them, and then I tried again and I liked them, and then I started trying to read Lady Midnight, and it was too angsty for my liking. If it had gone on to like more about the Fae and it had actually gotten to more of the point rather than I wasn't there for the relationship that was built in, and that's a me problem. I'm sure the book is great. It just wasn't for me at the time. So yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't read past the Infernal Devices yet, so my next ones will be the Dark Artifices. But I have a mixed relationship with Cassandra Clare because I love the Mortal Instruments, but I read them the year that City of Heavenly Fire was published. Probably won't love them as much now, but it was my favorite series until I read ACOTAR. And then I read the Infernal Devices a few years later, and I don't love historical fiction, so I was like, oh, they're okay, but I didn't expect to love them. And then I've not started the Dark Artifices yet because they're so big, but also like Cassandra Clare's weird incest thing, and also the fact that she keeps writing Shadowhunter books just really gets me. I was willing to give her the benefit of the doubt, I was like, Mortal Instruments, fair enough, but then I read a short story in an anthology that had a relationship between the main character and her step cousin, I think, and I was like, what is it with you? Stop it.
Just don't do it. Yeah. There are so many people in the world. You don't have to be related to them.
Yeah. Okay, so I've read everything except for this most recent series, the Chains, all those ones. Mm. Lady Midnight and that series, The Dark Artifices, is my favorite so far. I think the reason that is, though, is because Cassie Clare is continuing to grow as an author, and like her writing is getting better with each series that she writes. But I will say that the plot of the Dark Artifices is it's so angsty. It's so much of like forbidden romance, and I'm like, can't you just love somebody different than that then? Like, what's happening? So that part is like a frustrating read, and it's why I haven't picked up the Chain series yet, because I don't even know what that series is technically called. I just call it the Chain series.
The Last Hours, I think.
Yeah. And that one's also a historical, isn't it? It goes backwards again. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And sometimes it's a good and sometimes it's not a good.
Yeah. I'm still in a reading slump from finishing ACOTAR for the first time yesterday. So
Yes. I'm in the middle of ACOTAR right now. It's a reread for me, but I'm like 70%. I hope. I say that with a hopeful eye. 66%. So hoping to finish that this week. Yeah. Dang. Good. So much good. Yeah, angst is good. Can be good. Okay, I'm thinking we'll do a sprint starting at 20. What do you guys feel like? Do you want a shorter one or a longer one?
I'm good with whatever.
Yeah, I don't mind.
Okay. Those of you in the chat, tell me, like 20 minutes, 40 minutes? What do we feel? I am reading Girls of Paper and Fire right now. I'm very early into it. And I picked it for the Beautiful Spine, which I don't have the cover on it, but I did not know that I was going to have this on it.
Yeah, that is really nice.
What?
See, this is why I feel sad about having paperbacks. Like, I hate hardbacks, but like, look at them. They just look so nice.
Is that beautiful edition or is it the standard?
I don't know. Would it say? Like, where would it say?
Probably. I know it's not a Fairy Loot one, is it? Because I know Fairy Loot did it when it was released. No. My standard edition doesn't have that on it. No, I'm sad about it. Must be the US one.
Yeah, maybe. Because this is just 2018, first edition, November 2018. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. I don't even know where it came from. Like, I don't know if I bought it or if somebody gave it to me. Chelsea gives me all of her books. Like, when Chelsea decides that she's unhauling things, she always sends me a picture first because we live like relatively close to each other. So like, I would say a third at least is just from her shelves. Okay, yeah, let's do 30 in 2 minutes.
Cool.
That sounds great. Cool. And I need to pull up a timer. I tried to do like a ambiance thing the last time I did sprints, but the audio didn't work. So I'm not going to try it. I'm just going to go for a traditional timer.
I can't even help you with that because I've never tried to do the ambiance ones.
Oh, it looks so nice. Like, I love how Gavin does his. Yeah. And I listen to ambiance when I read too, because I don't focus very well if I don't. And I just couldn't get it to work.
Yeah. I think I'm going to try and read Nixia Uprising. That's what I'm going to try and start. It's like the third book in a sci-fi trilogy that started with like a competition in space. So like, I'll take it.
But the first book in that series is really good, but the others aren't as good.
Oh, you see, because I read the first one, really liked it. And then the second one, I was like, oh, okay, this is still great because it continues with the competition elements, even though it's in a completely different setting. I really enjoyed it. So, I mean, who knows what this one's going to be like, but
hopefully it's a good one. Wait, it's number 2 or number 3?
This is number 3, so it's the last one. So
okay, got it.
Interesting.
Got it. All right, we are going to start a sprint for 30 minutes. I'm going to share my screen, hopefully. Share screen. Yes, that's what I want. Just okay, here we go. Maybe. Did it work?
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. Okay. Okay. All right, we're going to start. Hello. We're back.
Hello.
How did everyone do? I was very distracted that entire time, but I got 22 pages in.
I did 16. It's not bad.
Nice.
I did 39.
Well,
Nice.
We have no
go.
Well, I spent like 10 pages going, who are these people again? Because it's been like a year since I read the last book, and I was like, I don't even know what's happening right now, but I think I'm back on track now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm liking this book a lot so far. It reminds me, it's Girls of Paper and Fire, in case anyone in the chat wasn't here earlier. And it reminds me a lot of The Selection, but like a different vibe, but the same feeling of like you've got all of these girls coming to court and everyone's kind of from different places. Like some are familiar with the court, some are not. So far, just like getting introduced, the chapter that I just read was our main character's name is Lay, I think is how you say it. And she just met all of the other paper girls. And so it's like the vibe of like, which one's the bitch and which one's the nice one?
I really like Girls of Paper and Fire, but I think, especially in the sequel, it's the world and the magic and the politics and stuff that I like the most. I don't love the characters. But there's really good chemistry in the romance in the first book.
Oh, I was wondering if this is a romance because, like, the topic, is it going to be a romance? I don't know. So I didn't know for sure, but that's exciting. I'm excited.
Yeah, it's female.
Oh,
yeah.
I feel like maybe I just met the love interest. I'm excited. I think that's what just happened.
They have really good chemistry.
Ooh, I'm excited. Okay, so where are some of us? We have Mythathon in April. Is that all like Greek myth or is it general myth?
I actually haven't heard of that one.
Yeah, that sounds great. Read lore. I need to read lore, although it's not on my TBR, but I do really want to read it.
I also need to read lore.
Same.
It seems like it's going to be a good one. I also need to make food in the next sprint because I've not eaten yet today. 70 pages. Jeez. Fast.
Wow.
Fast readers over here. Schoolwork. Yeah. What are you studying? I want to know. Up to page 163. How are you liking Truth Rich so far, Becca?
I really like it. I'm getting to grips with the world and the politics and stuff, but it's one of those that kind of throws you in, and it does explain as you're going along. But instead of because some books will introduce the terminology slowly, this kind of uses the terminology throughout, and then as you go, it explains more and more of the terminology as you go. So I'm still confused about a lot of what's going on, but I don't know, I like the writing style, and I've just had a couple of chapters ago, I read a ball scene, and I'm a sucker for a ball scene, so I'm enjoying it.
We love court. And then I always get confused when I say oh, it's about court. And I'm like, I don't mean the justice system. That's not what I'm talking about. Oh, 23 pages, 21. How are you liking Black Sun? Because I've heard really good things about it. But I haven't seen I've heard a lot of excitement about it, but I haven't heard a lot of people talk about it once they've read it.
I've seen a couple of mixed reviews, but I can't remember what people aren't liking about it. But I want to read one of Rebecca Roanhorse's books, and I don't know whether to read Black Sun or is it Trail of Lightning? Trail by Lightning?
Yeah, Trail of Lightning. Yeah. To be fair, that book I found it a really mixed bag because when I first started, I thought this is really kind of slow. And I didn't get into it. And then I got to about page 150, and then I read it all in one night. And I keep thinking about it. And I'm like, I read it in January last year, and I'm still thinking about it as something that I enjoyed. So I definitely think it's worth picking up.
Interesting. Might add it to my wish list.
Yeah. That's how I feel about, oh God, what's the name of it? Unkindness of Magicians by Kat Howard.
I love that book.
fucking good. I like want more. I just want more. And I put
They're
her
supposed to release a sequel last year and then just didn't, and I haven't heard anything about it.
I saw something about that, but I also know that originally she wasn't planning. It was supposed to be a standalone. And then there was something going on about maybe a sequel, but I don't know. I don't know what happened. And then she wrote Cathedral of Myth and Bone, which from my understanding is like a set of short stories all about cathedrals and myths and bones. I don't know.
The UK cover of Trail of Lightning looks like that, which I've never seen that before.
No, I hate it. I hate the covers, the UK covers. I had to get the American covers because I think they're so much nicer. They've got like they're illustrated. I don't know. I way prefer them.
Oh yeah, that one. Okay, I've seen that book. Yeah.
Wow, the UK covers are interesting.
I feel like how the second one is like locusts.
Oh,
it's just not attractive.
Oh, Arthurian legend. There's another book that has Arthurian legend in it. Somebody was talking about it.
Is it Once and Future?
Maybe like the
I'm
one.
planning to read that next month.
Oh no.
Is it not good?
No.
Oh great! I'm gonna read it anyway, and if it's crap, then it's crap. But
which one? Once and Future.
It's just called Once and Future. It's like sci-fi, gender bent, King Arthur.
Yes, it looks like an X or something, or a Y.
I don't like that book.
Black with pink and blue. It's a very pretty cover.
Yeah. I think that is partly what drew me to it. But I also just like King Arthur retelling, so we'll see.
It was
I'm scared.
Kind of weird, and I wasn't a fan. I read it when it was released, so I can't remember a lot now. I just remember I gave it 2 stars. Wasn't a good time.
Okay, I'm nervous now, but it's fine.
Oh God, lots of school being done today. Good on you for getting it done.
Compounds, wow.
Yes, and then I know, I don't know your name, but Emma Lyrical is studying for radiology, so she's doing like imaging studies.
Wow,
sounds very difficult. 30 minutes, nice. I think we'll go in 2 minutes at 11. What should we do? A long one? Do we want to do a long one?
Sure.
Yeah.
Truthfully, it's really like I'm finding it not necessarily easy to read, but I don't mind reading it. So like I'll just keep reading, and I don't, because a lot of the time I'll stop halfway through a page and be like, okay, how many pages of this chapter do I have left? But it's moving like really quickly, and I'm finding that I'm reading it quite quickly. So
yeah. That's good. Yeah, it goes by fast for sure. I noticed that book, like, even though I feel like I didn't understand it, which I think that's why I want to try it again physically, because I feel like it was an audio mistake, not that I didn't like it. But I don't have any memory of it. Like nothing was kept. Legendborn.
Oh yeah, Legendborn is a Arthurian retelling that I'm excited about.
Oh, that's the one I think I'm thinking of.
With like the blue and the red on the cover. Yeah.
Whenever people show that book, I always think of the Marissa Meyer series. What's the first one called? The last one's Arch Enemies. The
Renegade?
Yeah, Renegades. The cover I immediately think Renegades instead of...
That is a series that I haven't read because the UK covers are so awful.
They are bad, aren't they? Like I got the first one and never continued with it because I didn't enjoy it, but like I just thought it was okay.
I love
the covers just not
UK
not
cover of Renegades. I gotta find it, and then we'll start right after this. Oh
yeah.
Oh no, that's what
there's
we're
a lot
about?
of there's a lot of things where with people in the US being like, oh, the UK covers are so much prettier, and I'm like, well, that's something that's only happened in the last like 5 years or so. We used to have terrible covers, and we also have some real bad ones. The one for Heartless by Marissa Meyer is awful as well.
Yeah, that one's right here, and it matches. They like go together. Sorry, they go together there.
But the Lunar Chronicles don't match. They're the original covers, or like the reprints now.
But both of which are nicer than those two.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll have to look it up. Okay, should we do 40 or 45 minutes? What do we feel like? Or does it matter?
Either way.
45?
Okay, let's go for it. No. Yes, but I gotta redo it. It accidentally started a 30-minute timer. Okay, here we go. All right. There we go. Okay. See you guys in 45 minutes.
Bye.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi, Paula.
Hello.
Welcome. What are you reading?
Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, the Slytherin edition.
Nice.
But
I've
just finished this one.
Oh,
I just finished the graphic novel of The Lightning Thief.
ooh, fun. Yeah. I didn't even know there was a graphic novel.
Yep.
That's fun. Cool. Somebody asked you, Kat, what are you reading?
Oh, I'm reading Nixia Uprising by Scott Rankin. It's the third in the Nixia trilogy. Yeah, it's good.
Nice.
I can't really say anything else without being spoilery.
I decided to listen to ACOWAR for that sprint, and things happened. I don't even know how to try to say it without spoilers. I don't know. I don't have anything.
Yeah, this is the problem with reading the last books in trilogies, because you're just like, I literally can't even say about characters that are still alive right now because spoilers.
Mm-hmm.
I hate it when I'm just trying to say about my favorite characters, but with fantasy, I don't want to give away who's still alive.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Definitely.
All the time.
Somebody was talking about 22 pages. Nice. Somebody was talking about Evelyn Hugo. Where did that go? Here it is. How do you like it? I love that book.
I love Evelyn Hugo as well.
Mm-hmm.
I still haven't read it. I keep putting it off because I'm like, what if I don't like it and everyone loves it?
If you don't like it, you don't like it. You don't have to.
Mm-hmm. Hype makes me nervous for sure.
That's
why.
I think that is my thing.
Oh, I'm so nervous.
Well, I finished my hype intimidation book this morning. I was reading A Touch of Darkness. The Hades Persephone romance thing. Yeah.
Okay, I don't know that one, but I'm writing it down.
I thought it was going to be a YA, but it really isn't.
No,
it's good. There's some very nice smexy scenes in it. It's fun times.
Ooh.
Yeah, I've got that one, but I haven't read it yet.
I just really love Hades Persephone retellings.
Mm-hmm. And it's because it was from Book Talk hype. And it's I don't gel very well with hype stuff on Book Talk because it seems like they're 10 years behind and they really, really love We Were Liars, and I absolutely hated that book.
I love We Were Liars. They do really like Den of Vipers though, and Den of Vipers is just bad.
I haven't read it, but you know. I think the problem with We Were Liars for me was that it said that there was a twist and it was plastered all over the book. People's comments the amazing twist ending, Daily Mail, and things like that. So it's I read it, and it's within 2 pages of reading the prologue, I figured out what the twist was going to be. So I was just reading the book going, yeah. Oh, there it is. Yeah, I was right. Yeah.
That's how I just felt with Choker by Elizabeth Wood. It was the book that I picked for favorite color. And it's been on my TBR since I started BookTube 7 years ago. Wow. And yeah, the cover just calls to me, but it was not good. It's not good. 50 pages of Defy Me. Nice.
Cassie, do you know how I was excited to get the paperback of House of Blood Earth? Because I didn't think that I bought the hardback, but I was sorting out my shelf today and I do have the hardback, so I have both.
That happened to me one time. I had the Poppy War on my wish list, and then I thought that I didn't have it on my wish list, so I bought myself a copy. And then it was number 1 on my wish list, so we did a Christmas exchange with a group of booktubers, and that's what they bought me. And I didn't know that my copy was also coming in the mail, so I'm like, oh my gosh, so exciting. And then the same day, both copies came, and I'm like, don't even remember buying this. Oof. Oof. Let Becca go off.
It's just so bad. It's just real bad. It's real bad. I never thought that I would say, like, of all the things I expected from Den of Vipers, I didn't expect to be bored. And that was my, like, feeling coming out of it. Like, I'm just bored.
Who wrote Den of Vipers?
K.A. Knight. Also, it has too much sex in it, which is something else that I thought I would never say.
Are you sure?
You should read some of the books that I've been reading, honestly.
The plot wraps up at 80%, and then it's just a stream of sex scenes, like from there until the end, just cycling through the 4 Vipers, and I'm like, when will it end?
Oh God, are you gonna try to convince Gavin not to read it? Because I think he's supposed to read it in April.
Yeah, I told him it's awful. I think he told me that he was going to read that the day before my vlog went up. So I was editing it as he told me, and I was like, wow, why would you do that? He was like, I heard there's this scene with a knife, and I'm like, yeah, there is.
There is. Yeah, there is. Oh, here we go. DNF at the knife scene. I
don't know what it is. You guys are making me... Sorry,
yeah.
It's not that far in. I think it's the first sex scene with that particular Viper, so I would say maybe around 30% at most.
Oh, so it's like early in. Okay.
Yeah.
Doesn't even give you time to like get to know anyone, just jumps right in.
Well, it is 650 pages, so 30% is still like a page mark.
That's so long.
You guys were kind of convincing me to read it, just even if it was like because it's rubbish, but like 650 pages, who has time for that? No one.
Well, I did apparently, and I regret it.
I saw somebody make, I think it was a book talk, but I can't remember, or maybe it was on Twitter, where they were like, I bought this book and it's Den of Vipers, and they're like, I thought it was this book, and it's the Romeo and Juliet retelling that's really popular right now by Chloe Gong.
These Violent Delights.
Yeah. They were
no.
The covers are the same. And so they got them confused, and then they read it, and apparently that was scary.
Wow.
Oh, yeah. I have so many books that I can't decide if I'm going to, because there's no way I'm going to finish my entire TBR that I have for Touching My Shelf, which ends on the 2nd. Plus, I didn't get to 4 of the arcs that I wanted to read in March. And then I just filmed my TBR, and it's already 10 books long. So I'm like, I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing here. We don't know what's getting done.
I think I've got 8 on my TBR for this month plus extras.
Yeah.
Fine. Everything's fine. The extras as well as Brandon Sanderson and Robin Hobb.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to read both House of Earth and Blood, which is a reread. So on the 17th, we'll see if I've actually read it. And then I'm also trying to read A Court of Silver Flames.
Yeah.
Plus 8 other books. It's fine. We're all fine. Everything's fine.
Wow.
See, I don't tend to do a monthly TBR because I'm more of a mood reader, unless I'm doing a readathon where you kind of have to plan out your TBR. But I've only got 2 books left for this. I've got the Harry Potter and the House of Earth and Blood. But I don't know if I'm going to finish it for the readathon, but I'll definitely finish it by the 17th.
Yeah. Well, and Polly, you read really fast. You're always finishing books so much.
It depends whether Wyatt lets me or not.
Yeah, true. Yes, there is going to be a Den of Vipers live show. I don't know when it is, but I know it's happening.
Yeah.
Are you not gonna join, Becca, just so you can be like, I hated it?
I don't even know if I can watch. I don't even know if I want to relive it enough to just watch talk about it in a live show. I actually forgot that I'd read it. I was working out my stats for my wrap up today, and I was like, this says I've read 13 books, but I'm pretty sure I only read 12. It was Den of Vipers that I forgot.
Lost from your memory. It's over.
It wasn't even that long ago either. I finished it like a week ago.
You really don't want to know about it.
Well,
Delete. Yeah. Yep. You should be. I think everyone should be panicking. For some reason, everyone's decided April's the month for too many books.
See, I'm really chill because I didn't finish my March TBR, so I took a punishment. So then for the last 4 days of March, I've been like, well, there's no point me even completing my March TBR. Might as well just give up and start my April ones. Like, already took a punishment, so...
Oh my god.
This is why I have TBRs, because without a TBR, I just don't read. Like, I just won't read at all.
Me too. That's how I am too. It's so weird because I like think about it like before ever joining BookTube. Like, how did I read? I don't know. I don't know what my style, but I've loved reading my whole life. So like I was reading. I just don't know. I don't know what happened. It's very weird.
I feel like before BookTube, I just did loads of rereading. An embarrassing amount of rereading because there was no one to judge me. So no one would know that I'd read something like 6 times just in a row.
I used to have a TBR jar and I used to be really organized. So like there was purple and white pieces of paper in it. And purple was series and white were standalones. So I used to pick a purple slip, start a series, and then just read a standalone in between every book in the series until I was done with the series. I now currently have over 50 series that I'm in the middle of. I'm like, I never.
Wow.
Oh,
I don't have that many, but I am in the middle of a lot of series. So my TBR jar, the challenge I pulled for April is to read a whole series. And I was so mad because I already had decided to read A Court of Silver Flames and House of Earth and Blood. And I'm like, I don't have time for this. What do you mean? I found a duology. So
that's good.
Yeah.
Well, I managed to read a trilogy for this thing.
See, there you go.
See, I read the the Curse Breakers trilogy. I've only got 2 books with me now, but I read this trilogy. The other books are in the living room.
Mm-hmm.
Is it really weird that like I have it within reach?
We'll go in 2 minutes.
Cool.
Okay. See, I really wanted to add Well of Ascension to my TBR in April because I want to work on that series because I loved Final Empire so much.
Mm-hmm.
No, we're not doing that.
Well of Ascension is on my TBR as well because Stormlight Read Along has backtracked, so we've stopped in the middle of Stormlight. We still have Rhythm of Water go, and now we're going back to finish Mistborn. So yeah, that's all over the place at the minute. So I need to read the Well of Ascension at some point, but because I don't have a set date for the live show, I just keep pushing it off.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Who's in that group?
It is me, Catherine from Catherine Reads, Kaz from The Little Book Owl, and Jade from Jaded Reader.
Yes. I was following. That's why I read Elantris. Was that last year? It was like the first one.
Yeah, it was.
It was the first one, yeah. And I didn't like that book. So then I thought I hated Brandon Sanderson. Not true.
Elantris, I give it 4 stars. It was the first one that I read, and it's a lot slower, and it's more like it's not as action-based and easy to get into as Mistborn.
See, I think with Brandon Sanderson's writing is sometimes he has a real pacing issue. I can't remember which one it is. Is it Warbreaker with like the color magic? That can be incredibly slow at times. And
I thought that was really fast. I read that in 4
double chunks.
Yeah, they're all.
No, I read it really quickly because I was listening to it on 3 times speed, so I listened to everything really quickly. But I don't know, there were just bits of it that just like my dad was reading it and he was like, I just can't get through it because they're just so boring. They just keep talking and nothing is happening. I was like, well. I don't know. No. Sometimes his pacing is off for me, so I don't know.
Well, I've only read the Mistborn trilogy, and I want to actually get and read like the whole the Cosmere books thing. But I feel like I'm gonna have to reread them, and I just haven't got the energy to sit down and reread the Mistborn trilogy as part of the whole thing.
I don't.
You gotta just find a good.
I've read now, and I'm still only about halfway.
So many books. Okay, we're gonna go for 30 minutes. I made that choice without asking because I forgot to ask. Sorry about that.
Cool.
Okay, let's go.
Let's try and get comfy again.
Mm-hmm. Hello. We've hit time.
Hello.
Everyone was so into their books.
Yeah.
Yeah, you made me jump.
Sorry.
It's okay.
I'm trying really hard to like not make it scary. Like soft. Hello.
She just like boo next time.
Yeah.
Kitty. Yes.
Yes.
Hamilton has made an appearance.
Very cute.
An ongoing battle with Curtis where Curtis was doing the dishes earlier, and Cassie will know when I came backstage, I let Hamilton in. Well, I could hear him crying outside again because Curtis had let him out. So then I had to let him back in. And then Curtis will come downstairs for a snack and let him out again. And it just continues like that.
Yep. My cats do not like having any doors closed. And we recently started trying to train them. So we do train them where they don't come into our bedroom at night and they don't bug us usually when we close that door, like when it's bedtime. But Matt started trying to train them so that they're not sad and annoyed when he closes the office door, because he got a new chair and immediately they started trying to destroy it. And he's like, no. So they're trying, but every once in a while they'll just start crying at the door. And I'm like, can I let them in, please? It's so annoying.
Well, my cat's been outside all day.
Aww.
It's sunny. He's just like, I don't want to be home. I'm adventuring. So he's just been chilling outside all day.
Hamilton is very clingy. So like I said, I was outside yesterday, reading in between making candles, and he was outside all day, but only because I was. So he follows me absolutely everywhere. Like, he's never far away from me, and when he does go out normally, it's for no more than an hour, and then he comes back.
Aww, cute.
I miss having cats. There were 4 of us living in a 1-bedroom flat when we were in college, and we had 4 cats.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, all the cats. Yes.
All the cats.
There's no too soon. If you know, you know. There's also no too late. If you know, you know.
Yeah. Just bin it off if it's not good.
Yep.
Yeah.
No time for it.
Clash of Kings. How far did you guys get in that sprint?
Ooh, I think I read 2 or 3 chapters. Harry's it's Christmas and Harry's just got the invisibility cloak and he's just put it on for the first time and he's going for a little Toby around.
Cute.
I made it to page. Oh no, you guys go ahead.
Somebody go.
I read 18 pages.
Aw. Go ahead, Kat.
I am now on page 140. So I don't know how much I just read then, but during this whole sprinting time, that's how far I've got.
I've only read 60. This isn't fair.
I feel like, though, if you look at it, they're like really big words. And like it's a big font. So
I got 22 pages in that sprint. I'm loving it very quickly. Like, I've fallen in love already. And I thought that I had met the love interest after we talked the last time, but then in this time, somebody else was introduced. So I'm like, is that the love interest? I don't know what's happening, but I'm really liking all of the characters. The one thing I'm still like, there's so many, and they're all girls too, that I'm like, wait, who is which and what? And like the two, like there's the 2 older women who are like, not teachers, but like they're obviously the 2 in charge, and I still am getting the 2 of them confused. Like they've just become one person in my head, and I'm hoping that they become more clear.
It does become apparent. One's an arsehole and one's kind of more of a muddly figure.
Yeah,
they're a human one and one that's part eagle.
Yeah.
Yeah. The eagle one's the mean one, I think.
Yes.
That's what I'm getting so far. I'm liking it a lot. And okay, so this book reminds me a lot of, this is gross. You guys remember Hugh Hefner? and the Playboy Mansion and all the things. Okay, so back in the day, I was obsessed with The Girls Next Door, like the TV show, the reality TV. And recently, I started rewatching it because I don't know why I do this to myself. I'm having a grand old time rewatching it, but also like, ew. And so I was reading the part of like the explanation of the way that the girls are picked to become a paper girl, like the normal way that obviously our main character didn't go through. And I was like, it's like getting picked to be a playmate, and I hate it. Yeah, it's also really interesting to like listen, because obviously some of the girls who are paper girls are like really proud, and that's like what they were, you know, trying to get to. That's like the goal that they had, and then they're very excited to be there. And then our main character, Lay, is like stolen to do it, so she doesn't want to be there. And it's really interesting to watch the dynamic there, because it also feels very similar to like some people would be really happy to be in different, you know, positions that in other places or in other people's views would be like not a good place to be, like sex work and stuff like that. Like it's really interesting to like look at it.
I got selection vibes from that part of it, with like, you know, all the different casts and people from different areas, and you know, it being proud to be part of it, and then other people really not wanting to be. You know?
Yep, exactly. Yeah, it's really good. I'm enjoying it. Finished Truth Witch, 2 stars.
Ooh, why did you give it 2 stars, Beth?
Yeah, tell us more. Tell us more. 20 pages into Truth Witch. Maybe Maxie needs to know why also. Getting the studying in. Good. 28 pages. Breach of Peace. Really engaging. What is that one about? Tell us more. Occulta. I also don't know this one either. What's that one?
The sequel to Nocturna.
Oh, maybe.
See, most of the comments I just spend like, you know, going up to Goodreads and just being like, what's that book?
Yeah.
What's that book?
Are there any like books on your guys' radar that are coming out soon or just came out that you haven't gotten to yet?
Malice by Heather Walter. I'm really excited about that. I just got a finished copy through today from Del Rey, and I'm really excited to read it. I'm reading it next week.
I want to read that one really bad. Is it supposed to be like, because it's a Maleficent retelling, right? Or is it a Sleeping Beauty retelling?
I think it's Sleeping Beauty, but I think the fairy's called Alice. In my mind, that kind of sounds like Maleficent. Like the letters are there, so I think it is Maleficent who will be the main character, but I don't know for sure. I don't know whether it's the evil fairy or just a evil fairy.
Ooh. I need to know more. Like, is it because you know how like Maleficent, the one with Angelina Jolie, creates the like, oh, that she was a good person thing. But then there's other versions that don't do that and just like really lean into the evil. Like, which one is it gonna be?
I'm really excited to find out.
I really want to read. Somebody was talking about it earlier in the chat. Into the Neverwoods, or Lost in the Neverwoods by Aiden Thomas.
Yeah.
The cover is gorgeous. I hope the inside is also gorgeous.
Who wrote Malice?
Heather Walter.
Okay. See, this is where I'm really bad at getting new stuff, because I've got so many books I need to read that I'm trying not to buy new ones. I've got to get through this. At the moment, I'm trying to save money as well. So I'm like, just read the books you have. Don't even look at the new ones. So hard.
I got like way more. So like, not very many people in my like real life are readers, and they don't tend to get me reading stuff like books or anything. That doesn't tend to be what happens. But this birthday, I got like 6 books, and I'm just like, I don't know what to do with any of these. Like, don't buy me things like this.
Are they books that you actually want to read though?
Well, so three of them I got from Chelsea, and I've already read 2 of them. And then the other one is one of her favorites that has been on my TBR a long time. And then like Sage, I don't actually know if this was a birthday present, but I just got from Sage in the mail. She bought me this. Or they bought me this. Very sweet.
Have you read it yet?
Yes, one of my favorite books. And Sage was doing a live show with some friends, and they were talking about this book like on their TBR. They weren't sure if they were going to like it or anything. And I was like, I really like it. I read it. And then, it came in the mail. I'm like, oh my gosh, thank you.
I'm reading that in April as well.
It's really good.
Did that one win? You didn't get Cruel Prince?
I haven't. It runs out in like 3 hours. And I haven't checked it today, but it was leading, which I'm very surprised about.
What else was on the poll?
Cruel Prince and Stalking Jack the Ripper.
Interesting.
Yeah, red, white, and royal blue, 40%.
Wow, like a decent lead.
It's only got 6% on the Cruel Prince, but there's 1,969 votes on it, so like it's a significant number of votes. But yeah, Cruel Prince and Red, White, and Royal Blue were neck and neck for a while, to the point where people were quote tweeting it, just telling their followers to vote for Cruel Prince, like without any context. But I'm happy it's Red, White, and Royal Blue. But I'm very surprised it's not the Cruel Prince.
Yeah, I'm also very surprised it's not the Cruel Prince. Maybe it's because you've been talking about enough smut on your channel lately that people are like, yeah, we need you to read some more smut.
I think it might be because there's people who want me to read it, and then there's people who know I won't like it, no matter whether they want me to read it. So it's the people who know that I won't like the Cruel Prince that have gone with something else. But I really think people are going to make me read the Cruel Prince.
Why do you think you're going to hate it?
I don't like Holly Black's writing at all. I've read 2 different books by her. I've read The Darkest Part of the Forest, which is one of her fairy books. And I've read the first book in the Curse Workers series, and I gave them both 2 stars.
What's that book called? The first one in that series?
Either White Cat or Black Cat.
Okay. I haven't read that one, but I've read a few Holly Blacks. Black Cat. I've read a few Holly Blacks, and I don't tend to like her writing style either, but I did like The Cruel Prince, although I do not understand why people have a ship. I don't get it. I'm like reading it, and I'm like, why is this the thing that people are always talking about with Jude and Carter? And I'm like, no, absolutely not.
By the end of it, because I read that, like, was it last month or the month before? I read the whole series in one. And by the end of it, I was like, yeah, okay, I'll accept them as an end goal thing. But I was like, it really isn't the main draw of this series at all. There is so much else going on that is way more interesting.
I will say that the one thing that's tempted me to read Cruel Prince over the years has been the fan art of Jude and Carden and the really dramatic like romance quotes to do with them. Like he goes on a big speech or something about coming home.
And I don't know when that happened.
No comment.
I don't want to. I just don't. I know I won't like it. Like Ashley was reading it, and I think she was here when she started it. And there's one chapter that's like says something about there being no pizza in the fairy. Like it's one sentence about pizza, and that's the entire chapter. And I'm like, why? I hate it.
Yeah, I did like it more than I thought I would. I've read the first 2, and I need to read Queen of Darkness sometime this year because it's one of the Goodreads 2020 winners. But yeah, I like.
How did that book win?
It's a good question. I don't know.
We have this with most of the books that we've read
so far
for the actual the best books club. It's like, I enjoyed it, but should it have won?
Why is this the winner? Yeah. Yes. And I do like the politics that Holly Black wrote into the Cruel Prince series, but just what? And I don't even feel like I read it like Holly Black wrote that as a romance, like Jude and Carden. I don't think that she wrote it I don't think she meant it to be a romance for people to want, but here we all are.
I don't think I've ever wanted to like jump in a book so much just to slap both of the ships. Just be like, no, you're stupid. He an asshole. Like, stop being an asshole. You know, just go your separate ways. Live it alone.
Do
I mean,
this.
to be fair, she is also an asshole. Like, he is an asshole, but so is she. Like, they're both as bad as each other, and that's probably why I'm like okay with them being together in the end. I'm like, whatever.
He's more reactive than he's more plotty, and she's more reactive. I feel.
Yeah, I can see that. I think she makes some decisions that I go, really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah,
okay.
Definitely.
Oh gosh. All right. Ebooks or physical books?
Physical.
I want to read more ebooks. I mean, I specifically bought myself a Kindle, so I need to read more ebooks, and I've got loads because I get like the Amazon Firsts, once a month, and it's like my Kindle's just full of them, and I've not read any of them. So I think I'm just gonna have to like sit down 1 month and just go ebook all the way.
If a book is on my Kindle, then I forget that I own it, because when I make my TBR, I don't look at my Kindle, I look around the room. So it'll never, if I have a book that's only on ebook, then I will never pick it because I'll forget that it exists.
Yep. I do like reading ebooks from the library these days because I'm still not allowed to go inside of my library. It's all still pick up on the outside. So it doesn't give you the same like experience as like getting to browse. So then I'm like, well, I might as well just like put it on hold, and then it just pops up automatically. And so that is something I like for ebooks, but in general, I also like physical books better.
I do have a Kindle Unlimited membership, and I've got Scribd as well. So like I do read ebooks, especially if I'm doing a readathon and I don't have a book to fit a prompt, or like when I did that polar bear romance vlog. Kindle Unlimited came in very handy for that because I did have to pay for one of those. I had to pay £1.99 for one of those books, and I'm still bitter about it.
You can ask for a refund if it was close enough to the thing. To be like, I didn't like it. Give me a refund.
Yeah, I've got to say Kindle Unlimited for me is purely for those kind of like trashy romance things that you just know are going to be not great. And you're like, really? Who came up with the premise for this book?
Yeah, my friend Nat like turned me on to what was it? Kind of like a bear shifter romance and the thing. She's like, read this, it's just absolute crazy shit. And I was like, I really don't want to. She's like, but you've got Kindle Unlimited, it's free, you might as well. I was like, okay, fine.
Okay,
I'll do it. And it was just like, I mean, to be fair, the writing's not that bad. It's just the whole fact of that it's werebears.
Well, there's like niches. There's niches within that as well. Like I managed to find options to make a polar bear specific video, and I didn't even read all of the polar bear books that I found. There were many, many more that I didn't get to. And there's one author, I think it's Terry Ballrider, who has many, many series about different types of bears.
Wow.
It's interesting. It's a niche that I never knew existed until I found it.
Something weird. Sorry, go ahead.
A while ago, I think Emma Blackery did a series of like when she read dinosaur smut, which is on Kindle Unlimited, and I'm just like, how is this a thing?
There's dragons as well. I found quite a lot of dragons by the same authors that did the polar bears.
Have you guys ever heard of Chuck Tingle?
No.
So he's an author, and he writes the most bizarre sounding books. I'm gonna have to like find the title, but they are always about being pounded in the butt. But like it's like pounded in the butt by a raptor, or pounded in the butt by the pound, and it's something about Brexit. Honestly, look it up because they are hilarious.
Yeah.
Like,
I nearly just spit take on the computer when you said that.
I also like ebooks for highlighting things. I find that I highlight like good quotes and stuff like that more on an ebook than I do because I don't like touching my physical books. Yeah, I'm like really weird about it, even though they're mine. I can do what I want, but I don't do it.
See, I tend to like do like a cull of my books and give them away, so I don't annotate my books. I do take notes, but yeah, I think ebooks are good for highlighting passages and quotes and stuff. I do like that about them.
One of the polar bear books I read was a unicorn and a polar bear.
Okay, the questions that I have about these books.
You should see the cover. You should see the covers of all of these. Like, they are just wow. It's usually naked torsos of men, just and then like an animal next to them, and you're like, why? Why does this exist?
At least the bear smut that I read, it's like they don't have sex when they're bears.
That is what I was going to ask.
But I'm sure that they're obviously the dinosaur and dragons, but I know that they have sex when they're kind of in that form, and I was like, what? How? I mean, semantics is one thing, but
so that's my question.
I don't remember. I don't think so. I don't remember any instances. There was one of them where both of them were bears, so possibly, but I don't think so.
Yeah, in most of the ones that I've read, they have been like the dude is a shapeshifter and the woman is just, a human. So they're just like, oh, we'll just be humans when we're getting together. But there was one where one of them where the woman was a tiger and the man was a lion or something like that. And then I think at one point they were trying to it was very strange. They were chasing squirrels and then they had sex, I think. So it was very weird. Yeah.
That reminds me of The Magicians, which is a book that I really hated. But there's a scene in there where they turn into foxes.
Okay.
And I hated it because there was a consent issue, in my opinion. And there were other scenes that involved a consent issue. So I didn't like the book for that reason. But but they were turned into foxes. I can't. I think about it sometimes.
I don't think there's a lot of consent in the animal world.
Yeah, exactly.
Dinosaurs, like, how are they attractive?
Right?
Oh, dear.
It's like, how would a T-Rex hold the person down? Just like, just get off me.
And like size issues.
Yeah. I don't think these books were meant to be looked on with a logical eye.
No.
Okay, we're gonna sprint in a minute.
Like, that'll be a thing.
Yeah. Why did anybody think of it? It's amazing. I love it. I wish that I liked reading like trashy romance because I love the idea of it. Like, I love it. But every time I read it, I'm like, I didn't love this. Like, I wanted to love it.
My problem with fantasy romance, like, I love fantasy romance. It's my favorite genre. But because I like logic in books and I like epic fantasy and like really logic-based books, it's when they don't make sense. And a lot of them don't make sense. And it bugs me that they don't make sense. Or they have plot holes, even though that isn't the purpose. So I can be quite picky.
I think it's a lot of convenience-based stuff.
Yeah.
So it just sort of happens, and because plot, like, there's no real reason. We just want to get to the next sex scene, so obviously the plot happens, right?
Yeah, I think you like A Heart of Darkness for that. There is plot. It makes sense, and it is kind of sexy.
Dinosaurs, I don't get. Fae or even werewolves, I can see. I love it.
Okay.
Oh, this is amazing. All right, let's sprint for 45 minutes. I have the timer up. And dun dun dun. There we go.
Like my bookmarks.
Oh, cute. Is that a corgi butt?
Yeah.
I love it.
I think it's a cat, actually. Little cat butt.
Oh, cute. Very cute. All right. See you guys in 45.
Cool.
See ya. Hello.
Hello.
Did I manage not to scare you, Paula, this time?
Yeah.
Okay, good. This book is really good. I'm thoroughly enjoying. I'm like a third of the way through now.
I just went past halfway.
I'm almost finished.
Nice.
I'm 209 pages in.
Oh, how long is that one?
361.
Is it a quick read or are you just a quick reader?
It's a quick read.
Oh.
Like it started off with me being a bit confused, and then I got into it, and then there was an underwater fight with weird alien tentacle beasts, and 2 moons have just exploded. So,
Whoa.
Okay.
I know. What is that? Dang. Yeah. I feel like this book is going to be one of those that stick with me. Does Girls of Paper and Fire, does it have a sequel?
Yes, I think it's a trilogy. I don't think the third one's been released yet, though.
The third one's out on the 4th of November, I think.
Okay. Do we know for sure that that's the ending?
I think so.
Yeah, I think so.
I see. I thought it was a duology, so I hope it's the ending.
I know. Now there's another series to add to my list. It's not as long as Becca's, but it is a long list.
It's long. I think the second one is Girls of Something and Lightning, is it? Storm and Shadow? Girls of Storm and Shadow? Is that the second one?
I'll look it up.
And the third one is Fate and Fury.
Fate and Fury. Ooh, that sounds great. I'm excited.
I'm just checking that now because I'm actually not sure. Did I just make it up?
What is everyone reading? I'm reading Girls of Paper and Fire. Becca's reading Truth Witch. Paul is reading Harry Potter and
the Slytherin edition.
And then Kat is, and I forget the name of it. I'm sorry.
Nixia Uprising.
Nixia Uprising. 31 pages.
Yeah, I got them right.
Nice. Always slower reading Martin. Oh, George R. R. Martin. Are you reading? I saw Clash of Kings earlier, I think. Who everyone is. Yeah, that book has a lot of main characters and a lot of perspectives. I feel that.
Yeah.
I just don't think I could ever read a Game of Thrones.
I listened to them, and then it was really weird because the narrator had very strange voices for people, and he would pronounce people's names really weirdly. Like Peter Baelish was Pattaya, and I was like, why?
Yeah.
Why?
I read them all. They are a long haul.
The only one I haven't read is the last one.
Yeah, same. I gave up.
That might be my favorite one.
I read all of them before ever getting to that season. So, like, I think I read the first 2 before Game of Thrones, before I started the show at all. And then I read the 3rd and the 4th before I watched the 3rd and 4th seasons. And then I got behind and I never read the 5th one. And then I watched all of it up until like season 7, I think, and then tried to go back and read it. And they're, in my opinion, for the most part, really, really well done adaptations. So it was just like, I'm reading what I already know. Why am I wasting my time reading it? Which is sad, but like good on the show up until later. Then it goes downhill. But
I think the last one's good because the show follows the books pretty closely up until at least the 4th book is where it starts to diverge. Then when you get into the 5th one, there's a lot more content in the book that just isn't in the show. Like they completely cut from the show things like it's mentioned multiple times in the book that Arya's wolf has a pack near the God's Eye. And like that's mentioned over and over again. And then there's lots of stuff going on with Bran that they just skimmed over, like when they rushed season 8 of the show and things like that. So that's cool.
Yeah,
I feel like they were good at adaptations, but like bad at writing their own scripts. So like they just got a loose outline, and then it was like
they just gave up at season 8. I think they kind of, they were just like, we need to get this done. We need to get as fast as possible, and they just kind of really fucked it for season 8.
They rushed it to go to Star Wars and they got sacked from Star Wars, which I found hilarious.
The funniest thing ever. I love that so much. It serves them right.
Yeah, it was bad. Yeah, I think if George R. R. Martin ever actually finishes the next book, I will read at least the one right before it, like, because that's the only one I haven't read. We'll see if it ever happens, though.
I just don't feel like he will.
I know. I don't think so either. Well, thank you.
Thanks.
Lost in the Neverwoods. Yeah, that's the one. Oh, it is? Okay. I liked the narration of Cemetery Boys a lot.
Still need to read that. Does anyone get bugged when I'm listening to an audiobook and they say, oh, they riffled through something, and it's like, it's not riffled, it's rifled.
Yes.
It's like, what? Riffled isn't even a word.
It's not even, you can't even blame the Americans for that, because we say rifled too. I don't understand.
Yeah, it's just, I don't get it.
The thing that's bugging me at the minute, and I don't know if it's like a common misconception or whether it's just a recent thing, but people saying weary instead of wary.
Yeah.
Oh, I do say weary.
This just reminds me of a guy I used to work with who was determined that werewolf was pronounced werewolf.
No, it's were.
It's not werewolf. Why would it be werewolf?
Well, and it's based on language. Like, that's an actual word. It meant man. It's how you get man and woman. It was were man, and then the woman was were wife. But like, where is the word that meant human, not man. Man is the word that means male, and then where
wife means woman.
WIF meant meant woman, and then eventually that transitions, and you get rid of where, and then man became just human, but also male. I don't know why.
I think with the whole where and we're thing, I think that comes more like kind of how posh you are, kind of, in my opinion. I mean, it's like, say if you went to Eton or wherever, they would say we're.
Well, the guy that I'm talking about was a Stokey, so not super posh around here.
Oh my gosh. Well of Ascension. Nice. Maybe. I don't know. That would be a decision. School versus reading. I'm never a good judge of that one. I'm amazed that you've not been spoiled for some big things. Maybe you have.
It was fun to be there at the time when season 8 was happening and everybody was live tweeting. That was a good time.
Oh,
I stayed up until 2 a.m. Was it 2 a.m. they were on in the UK?
Yeah, that wasn't fun. I had to stay off all of the sites because I'd be working the next day, and I was like, oh, I just want to read it. I want to watch it even
the next day as well, but like nothing was stopping me from watching season 8 of Game of Thrones.
It's a fair point.
I really liked the no context spoiler thing that was happening for season 8. Those were just always really, really funny. Yep.
Yes. The more people that read it, the better. It's good. It's a fun time.
Dutch.
So I think that we're gonna be done. I should have warned you guys, all of us, that would be the last sprint, but I didn't realize what time it was when we started it until we were like 10 minutes into the sprint. I'm like, oh, it's gonna be time to go. But I have everyone linked down below, so make sure to go subscribe to Becca, Paula, Kat, and we will be doing sprints again on Friday. I think I'm going to start them 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, which would be 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Help me.
2 a.m. UK.
Yeah, 2 a.m. UK. So probably too late for the UK folks. I don't know who's going to be joining me, but there will be friends in those, I'm sure. And yeah, I hope you guys are having a good Touching My Shelf readathon. Who's participating in the chat? I know Paula's participating. Kat and Becca, are you guys participating or just reading for funsies?
Just reading for funsies.
In what? Sorry, wait. My brain just blanked then. God, I just went like...
But you did post a TBR, so
yeah, no, I am taking part. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah.
It's clearly time for me to go to bed.
That late.
That was like the other day during Becca's the live show that we did for Bookopoly-a-thon. In the middle of the live show, Becca mentioned Beth and the breakfast with Beth that she did, and then in the 2 seconds it took for me to talk about the story that I had, I forgot Beth's name, and I was just, what just happened?
Can I just say kudos to Becca of like how well you did the Bookopoly-a-thon, managed to do that in like 2 days.
Oh, thank you.
It was just amazing.
It was everybody else.
Yeah, but how everyone managed, how you got everyone together and everyone was just so on their game. I couldn't take that, but I was like, damn, it's good.
Thank you. It was a good time, actually. Everybody wants me to do it again, and I'm like, okay, I want to do it again as well, but it took a long time to plan this and organize it and make sure it runs smoothly. Like, I can't just pop another one out right now.
Just give me a minute, all right?
Oh no, people are talking about roasted cheese in the chat again. I thought I'd escaped the roasted cheese.
I don't know what this means. What is the roast?
Yeah, no,
It's what Scottish people call cheese on toast.
Oh.
All right.
What would the American version of that be? Like a grilled cheese?
Grilled cheese? Yeah.
Oh no, grilled cheese is bread to bread.
Cheese.
So just like cheesy garlic bread or cheesy toast?
It's like cheese on toast is like a grilled cheese, but with only one piece of bread. But yeah, in Scotland they call it roasted cheese, and I was like sleep deprived, and it made me really hysterical because I just didn't understand, because like, where is the bread in this like roasted cheese, and also why would you roast it? You don't roast it, you grill it. Like, why are you putting it in the oven? I don't understand.
See, when it first came up, I thought it was like
making
that
sense,
TikTok
though.
recipe. You know that thing with like the block of feta.
Yeah,
because that makes sense. That is roasted cheese because you put it in the oven.
That is how. Right, this is all making sense to me now because I never knew that. My grandparents are Scottish, and that's how they used to make cheese toasties. By putting them in, I never knew that. Well, now I know.
Yeah,
That's good.
that was my first mental break during that readathon. There were many that followed.
Was that on a live? I might have to go through and just watch you have a little mental breakdown.
I don't know when that one happened, when the roasted cheese thing happened. We all got into an argument about crumpets on the last one.
Oh god, yeah, crumpets and English muffins. The roasted cheese incident, you probably would have been asleep because it was the midday live show on Saturday, so like 4 a.m., 5 a.m. for you. Toasted cheese makes more sense.
Yeah.
See, I'm English. So I don't think I would have been asleep.
No, you would have been awake.
Yeah.
Yes, you would have been asleep.
Just wouldn't have been online.
All right. Well, I think that is going to be the end of this live. So thank you to everyone for joining last time. Go check out all the subscriptions down below. Everyone's there. So go subscribe. And I'll be back on Friday.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Have fun. Bye.